is Macy Morgan, and I teach second grade at Washington Elementary. Last school year, I was our site teacher of the year, and I was a finalist for our district. When I had finished all my papers for my teacher of the year process, I started the presidential award process, and it just really helped me to reflect on my teaching. I grew up having a mother as a teacher, and so I saw the lifestyle and the passion that she had for teaching, and I knew from the time I was in elementary school that that's what I wanted to be. So her example and seeing what all went into it, I knew that that's where my heart was also. The best part of my job is my relationship with my students. Getting to be here to support them every day and watching them grow throughout the year, and when they have those aha moments, it's really fun to be able to be part of all of that, but just to have that relationship, because that's something that I'll have for the rest of my life. Is to see them grow and to see the things click, and it's so awesome to sit there with them and work through a problem and then them say, oh, I get it, and then be able to then show you their understanding, and there's nothing else like that, to have that relationship, but then to help them to put together the pieces to master a concept. Okay, we're going to start with quick look cards today, so be ready. I'm only going to give you 3 seconds to tell me how many dots are in the 10 frame. I think that to be a teacher, you have to be passionate about the job. It has to be your heart, because some kids were all they have, and so they need someone who's dedicated to this profession, because it's a very demanding job, and it can be very emotionally draining and everything else, but you have to have the passion and the heart for these kids, because once they leave your class, like to me, they're always my kids.
Hi, I'm Mariah Widener, and I'm a 5th grade teacher at Jinx West Intermediate. I'm also a state finalist for the Presidential Award for Excellence in Math and Science Teaching. When I was a little girl, my family struggled. We struggled to live in the same place for very long. My family was a transient family. We spent some time when my father was in the military, and that was the most secure time in my life. And it was within the time that my dad was in the military that I met a 5th grade teacher who was my gifted and talented instructor. And I got to go to her class, and she took really good care of me, and she saw things in me that other people didn't have the chance to, because we moved so often. And she really started to ask me questions and push me farther and not let me settle. And the kind of family that I grew up in, a lot of people didn't think I was going to do very much. And she was the first person to tell me that I could do anything I wanted to. I remember she gave me the Anne of Green Gables set for Christmas as a present. And when I read it and Anne became a teacher, I just knew that that's where I wanted to be. I wanted to do that for someone else. And going through high school and college and beyond, I go back to those memories of being in her classroom and how she would push me and how she would believe in me. And I just thought, of all the things I could do with the talents that I've been given, teaching has to be it, because maybe I could do for someone else what they did for me. It's a tough choice whenever it comes to picking my very favorite part of the job, because I love the content, I love the kids, I love what a school stands for. So picking a piece that kind of ties all of those things together is definitely the aha moments with the kids. And I know that sounds cliche, but today I really had a kid who's been having a hard time, and her partner said, oh my gosh, this is so easy. And it just gives me chills, because I know what that looked like for that kiddo just a few days ago. And that to me is amazing. Whenever I see them make connections and become better learners in mathematics and feel confident and good about themselves, that hands down is the best part of my job. The true test is, does it really fit back with the original problem? So you've got to go way back. So since you guys kind of flew through these, I want you to go back through 1, 2, and 3. We did 4 together. And try to write it out and make sure that both sides really are equal, and that your variables that you've chosen really do fit that whole problem, okay?
Miss Weiner, we're done. Me too.
It allowed me to really investigate the parts of my teaching that are effective and the parts that I still have room to grow. So while I was trying to apply for an award and focus on those positives, I also got to just dig deeper into my strengths and weaknesses as a teacher. And of course, that process just can only make you better whenever you analyze who you are and where you need to still grow. And then I started looking in my classroom and seeing the things that my kids that were doing that were wonderful. And I thought to myself, this isn't even so much just to honor me, but it's to put a voice out there that we are making an impact. And this might be a stepping stone to doing more in my state, doing more on a broader scale. The recognition really helps me get my voice out there as a math educator, and I feel like I'm developing a voice that's important, that's helpful to students and makes them become better mathematicians. I feel like I've been doing good things in my classroom for a long time, but I thought, well, I'm not as experienced as so-and-so, or I haven't been in teaching as long as these other people, so I felt like my voice wasn't, like I wasn't qualified to make assertions about certain things that I believe to be true. And the more I've gotten out there, the more everybody seems to have something to give, and we're pretty open-minded and willing to talk about it.
My name is Becky Hammock. I teach 6th and 7th grade engineering at Stillwater Middle School in Stillwater, Oklahoma. I kind of fell into teaching by accident. I actually have my master's degree in animal science, so I'm an animal scientist. And when I was at OSU working on my master's degree, I got a work-study job doing an after-school tutoring room at the junior high and middle school. And I absolutely fell in love with working with the kids, and I found that that was my passion. I'd always been passionate about science, but I found my true passion was teaching science to children. So I took the classes that I needed to get my certification and did my student teaching, and I've been teaching ever since. Students, my 6th graders are still so passionate, and they get really excited about what they're learning. And I think the biggest thing that you would need to do as a teacher is be passionate about what you're teaching. If they can see that you love science and you are so excited about what you're doing, they're going to feed on that, and they're going to love it, and they're going to be excited too. And I learn every day right along with them, and we just have a great time. I've been very active with the Oklahoma Science Teachers Association since I started teaching science, and I served on the board of directors with the previous elementary winner for the Presidential Award, Annette Hewitt, and she talked so positively about her experience and what a wonderful learning opportunity it was. And that made me think, wow, I've been through national board certification. This seems like a similar process. I learned so much in national boards when I did that, that this would be a good experience for me to learn and improve on what I'm doing with my students.